Okay, so we will start with a new topic today, and let me know if my screen is visible. Is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay. Um, so what we discussed in the last few classes was we spoke about the selling process, then we went ahead, we understood the sales organization, the different types of sales organization, the life cycle. We went further and we said, okay, now that I know about a sales organization, let me also understand how many people I need in my sales organization. When we got those basics also clear, now it's time to get your workforce ready. But how do I get my workforce ready? You get your workforce ready by asking them to perform. But what is a performance? I mean, what do you mean by perform? And are there any factors which influence our performance? Well, I don't know. I mean, in the sense that, and I haven't yet found this in any book, but this is something which I have understood over a period of time, that performance is a product. When I say product, multiplication of two things: motivation and training. So even if one is zero or negative, the whole product becomes zero or negative, right? It's not addition or subtraction, it's a multiplication. And isn't it true? I mean, when I look at anything, or maybe just think about any performance in your life, whether was it for trying that dish for the first time, or whether it was preparing for some competitive exam, or whether it was preparing for any presentation or preparing for any interview, whatever, um, or even buying a new dress, most probably. Somewhere there are two things which play a very important role. Number one, your motivation. Why am I doing this? What is my goal? What is encouraging me or not encouraging me to do this? Do I really want to do this? And second is, do I have the required skills to achieve this goal? Am I competent enough to reach where I want to reach? So you might want to climb Mount Everest and you may be really, really motivated and you may have all Bollywood dialogues ready with you. Ab mujhe koi nahi rok sakta. I can do anything and blah, 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 which is great because you need that motivation. But that will not take you to Mount Everest alone. What you also need are the required skills. You need that training. You need to learn how to climb the mountain, not just the mountain, the highest mountain in the world. What is the process, so on and so forth. And the reverse is also true. You may be highly trained. You may have been given the training in order to climb Mount Everest. But if you're not motivated, if you feel, why am I doing this? This is so useless. Then, in spite of your best training, you will not give a performance and you will not be able to reach your goal, right? So, performance is a product of two things: motivation and training. And therefore, when I say that it's now time to get the workforce ready, we need to understand motivation and we need to understand training. Motivation for me is really a tough topic. Therefore, we will take it in the next class. Today, I'm going to take the less tough topic, which is equally tough, but maybe not as tough as motivation, and that's training. So, when I'm talking about training, the first thing that I need to understand is, and which you also ask whenever anyone tells you to do anything, what's the first question? Kyun? Kyun karna hai? Why? Why should I do it? And similarly for training, why? Why should we do training? Well, you may need to do training because you may have a star performer and he needs to be groomed for leadership roles. You may need to do training because you have this lazy performer who doesn't perform, and he needs to be told that either he performs or he needs to leave. If anyone is writing in the chat box, don't do that. There's just a sound coming, but I can't see that screen. Just unmute and speak. And if, and maybe there are some new recruitees who have joined. So next year when you will be joining new corporate world, well, then they also need a training or they need orientation. So the first question before we start with training, the first step, is there a process? Again, I mean, why am I telling you this? So how do I decide what training, what? Is there a process? Yes, there's a process for everything, and the process helps us to reach our goal. And the first question when we start with the training is why? Why should we have the training? See, as you can see, you may have training for a number of reasons. You may have training because you want to reward someone. You may have a training because you want to give an ultimatum to someone. You may have a training because you want to introduce someone. You may have a training because a new GST rule may have come in the picture and the selling people need to understand those rules. You may have a training because you may have introduced a new software in your company, but your selling people need to be trained on how to use that software. You may have a training because the government may have introduced some new rule regarding import or export, provided you are in that business, and your selling department needs to understand those rules and regulations. And therefore, there can be so many different types of trainings. And the first question you need to ask is, why? Why am I doing this training? Once you're clear with why am I doing this training, the next question that comes is, what and who? What are we going to teach and whom are we going to interact with? So, well, if the who is the star performer, then maybe what are you going to teach? Maybe you need to groom them for the leadership position, and therefore the training is more about helping them acquire those skill sets which helps them to lead bigger teams or look after bigger territories, or maybe introduce them to a new product, whatever. If the training is for this laggard who keeps sleeping the whole day, well, then maybe the training is about those time management skills or about the selling skills, because please understand, we need to give opportunity to everyone. And maybe this is his last opportunity, because even after getting this training, if the person is not performing, then maybe time to bid goodbye to him. And well, if you're doing the training for the new employees, then you need to do that orientation for them, because they don't know anything about the company, and you need to introduce them about the different departments, about the rules and regulations, about the processes in the company, and so on. So if my first question is why, my second question is, for what am I going to teach? Well, if my second question is what, the third question is, how am I going to teach? Well, there can be many different ways. You can have obviously a classroom teaching. So you may do it by case studies or lectures or by discussions or whatever. Basically, I mean, in the sense that it's a classroom teaching. Or you may have, sorry, this is on-field training. So this is on-field training. You may have a simulation workshop, so which combines both theory and practical, or you may just have a combination of different types of training. So maybe the training is for a week, and 3 days you are in the classroom and 4 days you are on the field, or maybe 2 days you are on the field, 2 days you do a simulation, and 2 days you have classroom teaching, whatever. This depends on what are you going to teach. So for example, if I'm teaching selling skills, then maybe 1 day in the class, but rest of the time, maybe we need to be on the field. If I am teaching some new software training, well, then it is classroom teaching, but it is happening in the lab because they need to work on that software. If we are doing some orientation, then maybe it will be working in different departments for 3-4 days, visiting different departments. So it's a combination. Once I'm clear about how am I going to give the training, the next question that comes is how am I going to execute? So what do I mean by execute? Who, when, where? So we have already answered who. This is just an example. You can keep on adding the rows. I mean, I just gave you 3, but you can keep on adding the rows, as I said. So we know who, but when and where. So again, when? You cannot do trainings in the peak season of sales. You cannot afford to let your salespeople not sell at that point of time, because that is the only time when that is the time they look forward to, because they will reach their targets, they will achieve their quotas. So usually these trainings are given when the selling season is not at the peak. Having said that, this may not be true all the time. For example, if the government introduces some new regulation in the month of March, and though March is my financial ending month, and this is the most busy month, but if that new regulation is something which has to be implemented immediately, we have no choice. We need to do a training, right? So, so when is something, now, for example, when the Legard training, it may happen most probably after the performance appraisal is done and you come to know that these people are not performing. And where? That's a very interesting question. And that also speaks a lot about the training. So maybe you take your star performers to a nice hotel or something, and you do the training over the weekend over there. In a very subtle manner, you're also giving, that is, if the company has the budget, you are giving them an indication that you value their contribution, and while you want to groom them for the next level, you also are treating them very well. Or sometimes you don't have a choice. I mean, in the sense, if I have to do a software training, I cannot really take, it is best to be done in a lab. Not best, that's the only option, that you have to do it in a lab. Well, you would not really prefer to take the Legards to a hotel and then tell them that though you are the worst performers and the company is really suffering because of you, but see how we are treating you, enjoy your weekend, and we will teach you the selling skills. So who, when, where, the execution really gives a very important message about why we are doing the training and what is the importance of the training. And last, evaluation. Any process or any task done, it is important that it is also evaluated. So that dish that you made, it is important that someone, that we see, maybe nobody else tells us, but we only see, oh, how did I make it? Was it good? Was it not good? Your training, if you don't do the evaluation, then you are not giving value to the training. Now, evaluations happen at 2 levels. Obviously, one evaluation is immediately after the training, when you ask the employees that, okay, how was it? Did you understand? How was the instructor? Were you able to connect? And so on and so forth. That's about the training, which is important, I agree. But yes, that is one. But the second evaluation is maybe, in my eyes, more important, which should be done after a specific time. You have given them, you have helped them acquire some skills. Did they acquire? Did it help the company if they acquired? And obviously, you can only come to know about this after a certain period. So if you have done a training about selling skills, you can't expect the employee to start contributing from tomorrow. Give him or her some time, maybe 2 months, maybe 3 months, which means you need to monitor their performance over a period of time and see their performance before the training and after the training. If there is a change, good. If there is no change, then we need to understand as to why there is no change. Is it because we as a company did not do the job well, or is it because the employee is not interested in this training, in acquiring these skills? And therefore, that whole journey which we have undertaken really becomes very important, and we come to know its worth only after we do the evaluation. In short, we say that the training is nothing but the ACME process. What is the ACME process? So the first question, which I said why, is nothing but aim. What is the aim? Which means A. The second question, which I said what, is nothing but the content, which means C. The third question, which I said how, is method, which becomes M. The next, which I said who, when, where, is execution, which means it becomes E. And finally, the last one is evaluation, which is again E. In short, the ACME process. And we say that whenever you initiate any training or you think about any training, please first make this roadmap. Why are you doing this training? What is the aim? What will be the content? How are you going to give this training, which is the method? How are you going to execute this training? Who, when, where? And finally, how are you going to evaluate this training? Do this homework, be very clear with the process before you start the training. If we have answers to these 5 questions, the probability of your training achieving its goal will be very high. Most of the time in companies, we just sometimes do the training because we should do a training. That should never be the way that training should be looked at. So it might so happen that sometimes you may have a number of trainings happening, and sometimes you may feel that your employees do not need any training right now. But always follow this roadmap in order to finalize the training that you think your team needs. At this point, let me stop the recording and let me open the house for discussion.